Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Modern Prayer and Spirituality Experience. I am Kim McGuire, your host. We are here with Bianca de Reus. I knew I was going to say it wrong. I was doing so well.
So good. You make it sound more exotic.
And we are going to experience some of your work. So I am going to hand it right over to you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It's so wonderful to be here and actually, provide you with this experience as well. Often people find that it's hard to comprehend what it is like to connect to the animals. And so today I would love to connect to your dogs, Kim.
That would be awesome. We have one in the human world and one in the spirit world.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. So what happens is during a session, and this is what I tell all my clients, is that when I get into the connection, it is really a connection that is flowing in a way that it can go really quick. And sometimes the information comes through so quick that I can't even keep up writing. So I'm glad we're recording this because you can listen to it later on. And I use my body for the connection as well. So I sometimes do need to allow the energy to move through my body. And that can be by way of me exhaling and inhaling really, like, quite a lot actually, and deeply, but also sometimes I yawn because that is the connection, and I need to let go of some energies that don't belong to me either. So it's not like I'm sleepy or anything. It's just, it happens sort of, I have no control over that. And sometimes, and this is a disclaimer I tell people as well, your animal may send me information of stuff that you find perhaps a little bit difficult to hear or might get a little bit personal.
That's okay. I'm an open book.
Beautiful. Awesome. Fantastic. So do you have specific questions, or would you like me to just connect with them and allow the information to come through and what they want to share?
Which do you prefer?
For me, it doesn't matter. Usually, I mean, any information comes through anyway. If questions are not supposed to be asked, they usually don't answer them, or they let me know that's not relevant now.
You know what? Because I'd ask the same things that probably everybody would. Do you like that I'm your mom? Do you like the food you're eating?
What can I do?
If you could change something to be happier, what would it be?
Yeah.
Okay. Probably what everybody
beautiful
would ask.
Okay. So I'm just going to zone in.
And I'll let everybody know my dogs' name are Petey and Kona. Petey is the one who is still here with us, and Kona went to the Rainbow Bridge. When this airs, it'll be about a month and a half.
So the first thing I usually do is ask for permission. I send them my love directly from my heart to them. And both of them, there wasn't even a question around permission. They're already sort of, they're almost like little kids. Oh, I can't wait for this to happen. That's sort of the sensation I receive at the moment. Kona is very much at peace, but in a very curious state. She has crossed over, and it's almost like she's opening up that border between the spirit realm and earth realm, and she's looking through like that. So she's really looking down at us, and she's very much at peace. She feels light. She's loving where she is. She's giving me a sense of, I have reunited with everyone that I love.
And it's funny that you say she's looking down, because when she passed, I told her you can have so much fun up there and you can even come down and still play with the other dogs and haunt people.
Yeah. And she's quite cheeky in that way too, but she has a statuesque sort of energy around her. And it's almost like her energy has amplified and her wisdom has grown the minute she moved across. And it feels that she has actually got a lot of closure before she crossed over.
Yeah.
She is missing the physical aspect though, because she has loved every moment of being a dog. She's loved every moment of having that physical body with her. And she goes, and I can still get up to mischief if I want to.
She was a mischief girl, that's for sure.
She's stretching out her arms around you and your family and PT as well. And she's saying, I'm always with you. There is always a connection between us that will never change. She was in a bit of pain before she passed. And she feels very relieved of that now. There is absolutely none of that. She was able to let go of the body and she's completely one, is what I'm getting. Like, I'm one, I'm absolutely complete. She manifested the disease as well because that was her way of transitioning with ease, so that it was easier for you, but also easy for her. No such thing as a long sick bed, no such thing as an accident, just very quiet and peaceful. And she's manifested that for herself. And that's also why she's saying that at the end, it happened so quickly and there was no need to actually have a lot of assistance for her to pass. She's been talking to you every day, Kim.
Yeah.
And she's wondering why you're questioning that you're not grieving as much as you thought you would. Because she says there is no need. We can still connect. We're still here. We're still together. She almost makes me feel like you're wondering, I'm not crying as much as I thought I would. And really what we've always learned is when someone passes, we are sad, upset, and we have to cry. But because that hasn't happened yet, you're sort of wondering why that's not happened. But she's saying it's all good. It all happened the way it needed to. And you both were in alignment with that process.
Yeah.
So I see that both of you on that day were moving together as one, and you both experienced it. And that's why you saw her crossover as well.
Yeah.
Because you were both experiencing it. And that's why you've made peace with it already. And the grief process was very, very short for you.
Yeah, I have tears running down my face right now because my heart feels so full.
This is beautiful. She's also asking for you to just tune into her whenever you want to know something or you want some support. And she's also going to make sure that you have the right people around you to help you on your journey here as well. So she's done everything she could in this lifetime, but now she's in a much better capacity almost to help you more. It's like you've got one line of communication directly to her all the time. I can see that information going back and forth, back and forth.
That's awesome. Yeah, she chose me.
Mm.
She jumped in my car.
Mm. But she goes way back. Like her soul is quite mature.
Yeah.
Let's move to Patty now. Patty's an interesting character.
That sums that up.
He's a little bit jovial, but at the moment he's also grieving and he's quite sad, and he's adjusting into life without Kona physically being there. He can see her, but he's trying to ignore that because Petey is saying, I need to just distance myself from this and process it for me first, and to establish how do I now live without her, and then he will be able to communicate with her again. But Kona's still there. She's sort of in his wings and just observing and allowing him that space. Petey feels it's now his time to really blossom, to come more open and be himself. And I can see him sort of, how do you call this dance? When you sort of have your hat going up and down and he sort of moves his legs out like,
yeah.
like that.
We laugh. He's loving being an only child.
It's like he's got a complete new sense of freedom.
Yeah. Well, she ran the roost.
Oh, yeah. And he's looking forward to that, but also he's still adjusting. Because I can see the juggling. Like, how do I do this? Where do I go? What do I do? And I said, just go out into the world and just learn and experience, and you're safe. You're in a loving home. So you can do in that space, you can allow yourself to just go. Is he sometimes restricted in where he can run free?
Yes.
Because he's saying that he just wants to run sometimes. And he says, sometimes I'm not allowed to do that. And there is areas in the park, or I can sort of see a hill that goes down.
Yep.
There's a park area, and he goes, I want to just run down that hill, but I'm not often allowed to do that.
Yeah, because the top of the hill, the dog park, and then there's a fence.
Right.
So he can't run all the way down it.
Frustrates him. Frustrates him.
We go for a lot of long walks because I live in an apartment now. So he doesn't have the yard to run around in. So I take him to the beach so he can run on the beach. Yeah,
he loves that. He is sometimes a bit scared to go into the water though, because he feels that he doesn't have the right to be in the water because there's so many other animals living there. And I go, it's fine if you tell them that you're coming in and ask that permission. I go, those animals will allow you to go in as well. So he's very conscious of that. He's got a very strong connection with water.
I always
with the other animals that live there. It's like, oh, I'm going to go into their home. And
that's interesting. I always thought that, and I had no confirmation of this, because he was abused before I rescued him. And I always thought he was afraid of the water like that because we've lived by the beach for, a long time. And I always thought maybe he was abused using water. That's why he didn't like it.
Okay. No, it's more that he feels it's not necessarily his right to go into the water because of the other animals living there. He feels like I'm entering their home. Because I can see, like, to him, to send that to me, it represents itself as like a door that opens up, and he's waiting for that door to open for him to go in.
Interesting. Yeah, because he'll go in and then he just backs right out.
Yeah. And I said, look, if you just wait and ask permission, you will get the permission immediately because they're fine with you entering the water. And then you can just run and be free in that space. Just don't go too deep.
Yeah.
And that's more from a place of, I know that his body's not strong enough to go deeper into the ocean or the water. So I said, if you stay like where the water touches your belly, then at least you can still have your feet on the ground and slowly learn to go deeper to be able to swim, because he's not used
he's
to it.
never swam.
And it sounds weird, but what I feel is he loves Kona so much. However, at one level, he's really sad, but on the other hand, he's also quite okay with her not being there anymore physically, because he feels now I can really be myself. And he knows that she's there, and that's why he's sort of holding it off for now to get in touch with her until he's fully ready for that. It's almost like I can breathe. I can breathe.
Yeah. That makes total sense.
And he loves the new environment as well, because he says it's nice and cozy. He doesn't like big, massive open places and spaces. So he likes to have that sort of enclosed feeling. And he also doesn't want to have any responsibility of being a protector or a leader or anything like that either. He feels that he just wants to be himself and just be a dog and be crazy and silly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's him. He's just loving being a dog right now.
His skin, let me just check his body actually, because he's drawing my attention to his skin.
He's had a lot of allergy issues in his life, so we have him on I have him on special food.
Okay.
That his vet told us to use, and his skin issues cleared right up.
Yeah, apart from that, he's pretty healthy actually. His body feels nicely in balance. There is a little bit of discomfort under his belly, but that might be to do with digestion or something like that. It's sort of in that area where it goes from the belly down up in that curve.
Mm-hmm.
I think the small intestines are in that section there.
Yep.
It feels a little bit tender, like just more a nuisance than anything else.
Less bacon.
No bacon. Let's talk about no bacon.
Yeah, he's been getting spoiled a bit lately.
Yeah, anything to do with grains, because he says every time he has something with grains, he feels that his skin is starting to flare up. So he says that his body is very prone to inflammation. So anything that can cause inflammation in him, just avoid that for him.
Okay.
So that could be anything with red meats, because that's high in acid and that can cause inflammation. But also
he's allergic to chicken, so he eats salmon.
Beautiful. Yeah. You can also introduce some legumes in his diet as well, like chickpeas, lentils, those sorts of things to improve the protein levels for him. And more vegetables.
Yeah, he likes his vegetables.
Yeah.
Thank you. He knows he's my kid.
Yeah, and he's saying for you to relax more. Mentally and physically. He goes, you don't always have to be on the go. It's okay to just chill and have a day off.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, he says it's really important for you to focus on as well. Yeah. But he's quite a happy chappy, especially now, like very...
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's funny that
very
he
good
says I
energy.
need to relax more because he lays on my computer. He lays on top of my work. He'll walk over and just move stuff off my
Yep.
lap. And I'm like, all right, I guess we're watching a TV show.
Yes. Definitely. He'll let you know.
So it's funny. Yeah. I don't quite have words right now.
It's okay. All
Thank
good.
you.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much for sharing that with everybody so they know how deep and wonderful and spot on it is, and how healing and peaceful and soulful I feel right now.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So thank you for sharing with me and sharing with everyone.
You're very welcome.
am very grateful. And thank you everybody for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye for now.